My native country of Finland has been voted 9 times the happiest country in the world. And I've been living the last decade in the US, and there in media often there's a lot of debate how Americans should be more like Finnish people. And to that I say, you already have a place like Finland in the US. It's called Hawaii. And in this video, we're going to talk why and what can you learn from Hawaii. So hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tero. I'm originally from Finland. I've spent the last 20 plus years living around the world, and 10 out of those in US. My wife, who normally I film videos with, is American. We have 3 kids. We live most of the year in Austin, Texas.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Where all our kids are born and raised. And then we spend our summers in Finland, where currently in filming this. And being in Finland and kind of thinking about the narrative that there is around Finland and the Nordic model and happiness and wellness and balance, I often think about the 15, 20 trips I've done to Hawaii. And I think Hawaii is the most Finnish place.
What?
Which sounds crazy because when you think of Finland, you think of like a very like remote Maine-like nature, which is true. I've been to Maine. The trees kind of look very similar and there's a lot of Finnish people there. Or maybe Upper Peninsula in Michigan is similar. I've never been there, but the photos and I've seen and what I've heard is like UP seems like very Finnish place. But culturally speaking, I feel like Hawaii is much closer to the Finnish model. And it actually is a great example what you can learn from Hawaiian people about parenting. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what I've learned on spending time in Hawaii and kind of reflecting that with my Nordic upbringing. So first and foremost, there is a deep connection with nature in Hawaii. And I think that's very similar to Finnish people. So in Finland, just nature and wellness and balance and kids spending time outdoors is not just some catchphrase. It's also not like the redneck way that sometimes can happen also in the South and maybe even in Maine.
Well, with me and kitties, it's kind of like that book Catcher in the Rye. Did you ever read that one?
Which I don't mind at all, and that exists in Finland too. But it is very like spiritual, which I think is not quite happening in Maine and again in the South. But in Hawaii, there's a lot of spirituality around with nature, almost like paganish spirits and beliefs that is, I think, very similar to the original traditional Finnish traditions. And I think that time spent as a kid in nature, like just being at the beach for hours and hours and hours, and in Finland, like in the forest or swimming in the lake hours and hours, especially in the summer, I think raises a certain mentality and upbringing. And you can learn a lot from how Hawaiians spend time outdoors. Anecdotally, living in Austin, Texas, I think the Latino culture is somewhat similar. Is when they have a day off, they go to the park, they spend a lot of their disposable income more than other cultures on food, and they go to the grocery store and do a picnic, and they bring all the things, and then they camp out in a park.
Spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
It's very similar to Hawaii, where people just go to the beach and bring all the stuff and gear and spend the whole day there. And I think that's somewhat similar to Finns. And I think that's something, if you're interested in learning from the Nordic model, you can actually learn from the Hawaiian culture. The other thing is taking care of the community and pride of the community. Hawaii, among all the places I visit in the US, cares about their street, about their neighborhood. If somebody does something wrong, the community self-corrects. And I think that's very similar to Finland. Maybe excluding Helsinki or something like that, or some bigger cities. But overall, like I think of this story where this like visitor threw a rock at a turtle, and then instead of cops, just locals went to beat him up. And I think that's very Finnish too. At least the countryside I grew up in, again, in a bigger city might be different, but in our village, it's kind of like the community takes care of each other. And even the most iconic Finnish book, Seven Brothers, these 7 brothers do all these dumb things all the time, but they still have a fear for the community. They do what the community wants after all the mistakes they've done still. So I think it's deeply rooted in Finnish and Hawaiian culture. And I think if you want to think of for your children is allowing them to be in a culture, at least part of their childhood, where there's accountability. I think in today's world, be it online dating or just online forums and this and that, everybody's kind of a faceless number and AI and this and that. And I think a very human experience is accountability to the culture. You can maybe achieve that through team sports as well. But again, I think there's a lot we can learn from Hawaiians taking care of the islands and the pride they have of Hawaii and the traditions. And if somebody steals something or somebody gets lost or somebody conducts a crime, the community kind of comes together. And I think that's pretty beautiful. And at least that resonates with me a lot. Finally, I think there is not a lot going on in Hawaii, similarly as there's not a lot going on in Finland. So there's the funniest community gatherings that actually matter a lot, and I think they're beautiful. So, you know, maybe a Finn or Hawaiian would disagree, but when I've been in Hawaii, there's like a cookout, or there's some like small gathering and everyone comes together for it. And similarly in Finland, like if some store offers free sausages and then they sell you mobile phone subscriptions or give you free buckets, the whole community comes together. Even on a rainy day, like today is a rainy day, I just saw someone like Lily's selling mobile phones, but they offer sausages, and in the rain there's a line of people wanting the sausage and they're willing to hear the pitch. Sometimes living in city, you think you need this like big event and you need this expensive ticket, a Taylor Swift or NBA game or whatever the big thing is. And in reality, you just need community coming together. And I think teaching that to the kids is also like a powerful Finnish/Hawaiian experience. So just having, besides spending days at the beach and cookout, just like these small gatherings for community for seemingly no reason, I feel like are beautiful things to teach the kids. And if they don't exist, you could fabricate them. You could have kind of come up with them yourself. One of the funniest I've ever heard is all-in-one-day idea is that you celebrate every holiday of the year in 24 hours with people you only get to see a few times a year. So you do Christmas, New Year's, Easter, 4th of July, or some midsummer party, and like they all in one, like Halloween, all in one day, and every 2-3 hours you shift it up. But yeah, again, that's more of a creative idea. In general, I just think that like appreciating small gatherings and then community coming together is powerful. And I think there's something about quote-unquote boredom that is really powerful both for adults and children, but particularly children in the world of constant stimulation. Anyway, this is like a small idea. I've thought about it for years. I've talked to some of my American friends about it, and they're always shocked as like, how is Hawaii like Finland? But that's how I feel. Like going to Hawaii, I feel like most culturally at home. Obviously, people there are a lot happier. It's sunnier. We don't have a surf culture. There's no waves, and there's a lot of things that are different kind of visually, but culturally, I always felt like the most at home in Hawaii. And if you disagree, you can leave comments below. But anyway, thanks for listening. And this show is brought to you by Four Sigmatic. Four Sigmatic is the original mushroom coffee brand. They create amazing products using functional mushrooms for energy, focus, stress, gut health, calm, immunity, and so on and so forth. Things that any parent or busy person needs. They actually have a great offer for viewers of this show. It's the best offer you can get is if you get this bag of coffee for free if you just pay for shipping and handling, or if you want to buy more, it just discounts you the same amount. So go to foursigmatic.com/fungifam. There's a link below and you can get this intro offer. But I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the Hawaii versus Finland content, and like and subscribe. See you in the next video.